name is Nur Izzah binti Jaafar. Okay, so today I would like to give you all information about NIDC. What is NIDC? What is NIDC? N for negotiable, I for Islamic, D for debt, and C for certificate. Negotiable Islamic Debt Certificate, which is NIDC, is one of the products produced by each bank that has been approved by the Central Bank of Malaysia. Normally, it is used for large companies to obtain funds, which is the sources of fund. The example like in Islamic banking, current account, in saving account, investment account, and special investment account. So it is sources of fund in Islamic banking lah. So NIDC is a form of deposit instrument from the customer to the bank. Based on we use Baitulmal Ajil, BBA. And then the document is issued by Islamic financial institution to evidence that sum of money has been deposited for a specified period, and the transaction involve the sale of a pro rata share in the bank asset to the customer and agree price on a flat basis. That is the reason for NIDC can be traded in Islamic money market that comply with Islamic law. Mention about Islamic law, we should know what is permitted to be done and what is forbidden, as stated in the Holy Al-Quran. وَحَلَّ الْبَيْعَ وَحَرَّمَ الرِّبَا, and God has permitted trade and forbidden usury. It has clearly mentioned that trade is permissible while usury is restricted. However, there are several things that should be eliminated, such as trade that involves gambling, liquor, uncertainty, and pork. All of these are several basic things that we should know before get started with the NIDC. This Negotiable Islamic Debt Certificate has been approved and endorsed by the National Sharia Advisory Council (SAC) for Islamic Banking and Takaful, Department IBTD of Bank Negara Malaysia (BNM). Other Islamic bank to apply this kind of instrument, as it has been approved by both boards. Hi. A bill of exchange is like a written order used primarily in international trade that binds one party to pay a fixed sum of money to another party on demand or at a predetermined date. Bills of exchange are similar to check and promissory note. That means they can be drawn by individuals or bank and are generally transferable by endorsement. Actually, for an NIDC whose nominal value includes national profit, the nominal value shall be segregated into primary and secondary certificate. The primary certificate shall be in the denomination of not less than 50,000 and in multiply of 50,000 up to a maximum of 10 million. If any residual value in the denomination of less than 50,000 shall be represented by the secondary certificate.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. my name is Hidayatul Noor binti Hidayat. Now it's my turn to explain more about Negotiable Islamic Debt Certificate other than what has been explained by our first presenter, Nurul Izzah binti Jafar. Now we will look at three more main things about NIDC, which is the modus operandi or mechanism, as well as its advantages and its risks. Let's go. Okay, the concept of NIDC the same like the Baitulmal BBA. The only difference between BBA and NIDC is on the usual BBA will buy the assets as requested by the customer and resells it back at the markup price, but the BBA concept on NIDC is more unique as the assets itself belongs to the bank. Okay, there are two parties involved in this activity, which is the customer and the bank. As you all can see at the first stage, the customer wishes to place funds based on NIDC and approaches any Islamic banking. And then the Islamic banking sell its asset in cash to the customer based on fund placed by the customer on the first stage. Later on, the customer pays the purchase price of the assets to Islamic banking or any chosen bank. With that, the bank transfer the asset to the customer. Later on, the customer sells back the asset to the bank on credit basis, where the selling price is higher than the purchase price on the freight with markup. Okay, the difference between the selling and the purchase price is the investment of customer. The bank later on will issue a certificate of debt, which also known as Shahada al-Dain. Later on, payment is deferred to agreed future date, and then the upon maturity, the customer will present the NIDC to the bank, and then the customer will receive the nominal value, which is principal plus profit of NIDC, and then the profit is divided between the customer and bank on a agreed profit ratio based on principal al-mudarabah. The major risks involved for number one is market risk, refers to the potential impact of adverse price movement. For example, profit rate, foreign exchange rates, which is the price of one currency in terms of another. For example, RM Malaysia equals to 0.24 cent United States dollars, or equity prices where applicable on the economic value of an asset. Number two is credit risk, refers to the potential that the issuer of an NIDC fails to meet its obligation in accordance with agreed terms and conditions. And lastly, for number three, operational risk, refers to the potential loss resulting from inadequate, which is lacking the quality or quantity required, or failed internal process, people, and system or external events. With the reasons, there are always the advantages to any activities. Here are some advantages that we love to enlighten to all. Number one, it's free from the interest, which is riba, elements of gharar, which is uncertainty, and maisir, which is gambling. Number two, fixed return over the entire tenure of the investment. Number 3, positive development by Islamic banking.